I don't know if people followed it very closely, but when I was in spring training, it looked to me like there was, trouble in paradise because the Red Sox signed Devers to that long-term deal. They had a 10-year deal. And then once they signed Bregman, I don't know that their interests were aligned anymore, right? And so there's been workplace issues about where Devers is going to play, how he's going to play. He got off to a terrible start, and then recently he's been hitting really well. But I think it was a divorce, and yesterday the divorce was made final, right? I don't think their interests were no longer aligned between the Red Sox and Devers.
If you're the general manager and we saw, that John Henry flew out to meet with him with the whole position issue that had happened twice, the making him the DH and then trying to move him over to first base. When you have a player who does not want to play another position, how would you handle something like that?
Well, at first I thought Devers wanted a relocation bonus to move 90 feet across the diamond, right? But after a while, it didn't look that way. I think that he just didn't want to be with the team. I think that he wanted to go play somewhere else, and I think he made that clear by the choices that he made. And the Red Sox, to their credit, they have some really good young talent coming up, and they've got to be careful about what is the culture of their team, right? Everybody's interest has to be aligned. Everybody's got to be pulling in the same direction. So I think they decided that they have enough talent, and even though Devers is a very valuable bat, they thought that their team was going to be better in the long term with bringing these young players along in a different culture and having Devers somewhere else.
In your opinion, is this a move that the Red Sox had to move to just put that culture that you mentioned behind them?
Well, I don't know that they had to do it now, but their challenge will be to stabilize their team and their lineup because Devers is a big bat in the middle lineup. He's got 400 on base, and when they get in the playoffs, he slugs over 600. So not only can he hit, he can get a hit when you need a hit. But I think the Red Sox were looking a little bit longer term, and they had a huge financial commitment to him. And if they had a player that wasn't happy and wasn't aligned with the team and what they were trying to accomplish, I think they thought it was better to give some of these young players an opportunity and free up the money, try to get as much talent back as they can for their ball club for now and in the future, and go from there. And then the Giants are getting one of the top RBI guys in the game at a time to go in the middle of the lineup so they can go toe to toe with the top teams in the National League. So, make no mistake about it. Rafael Devers can hit, he can get on base, and he can get the big hit.
How about the aspect of being able to unload a contract like that? That doesn't happen all that often with 300 plus million dollars left on a deal that the Red Sox were, able to find someone and to get back some young prospects.
Yeah, they got some talent back. And I got to tell you, the Giants are getting a cost-effective contract, right? I mean, if you've got one of the top hitters in the game, you take a look at what he signed for, Devers, and you compare that to what the Mets are paying Soto. There's some good value in that contract for the Giants. So, whatever talent they have to give up to get him, they gave up a top pick from a year ago, Mr. Tibbs, and he looks like he's going to be a good major league hitter. So that's probably the key player in the deal for the Red Sox. So they traded a hitter. They freed up 250. The Giants got a top hitter, one of the top RBI guys, and Giants been trying to get a top RBI guy. They were in on Judge a couple of years ago, right? They tried to sign him. So they've been looking for a big bat in the middle of their lineup, and they have a 28-year-old and one of the best bats from the American League in Devers.
What do you say to Red Sox fans? It's kind of like the here we go again. Mookie Betts moved, Bogarts moved, Xander Bogarts. Now it's
Well,
Rafael Devers, who was expected to be the face of the franchise.
Well, fortunately for the Red Sox, they got some really good young talent coming right behind them. The kid Marcelo Mayer. I mean, anybody that saw him hit 2 home runs and make the play that he made at third base over the weekend, they got to be really excited about him. They've got a very entertaining center fielder. They brought up a potential matinee idol a week ago in Roman Anthony. He looks like a left-handed Tony Canigliaro. So I would tell the Red Sox fans, take a look at those guys. I think you're going to like them.
It's, time will tell, but do you think there's a winner in this deal?
I like the deal for both teams, frankly. And that doesn't happen all the time. Uh, there's some serious talent in this trade, and I understand why the Red Sox did it. I understand why San Francisco did it. Time will tell. Who made the better trade, but I mean, from the Red Sox point of view, if they're freeing up 250 million and they got young players coming through their farm system, they should do all right in the long run. And as far as Devers goes, Devers can hit, and he should be able to hit for quite a while. And he's a clutch hitter. So for the Giants, I think they got what they were looking for too.
Unclear where he plays, whether he's a DH. Matt Chapman's currently injured, so he could play third base. Would that be a message though if he moves positions with the Giants after not wanting to do it with Boston?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. I do know from watching him that his best position for Devers is batting. This guy can hit and he can drive in a run.